So hi and welcome to Data Explorer's Market Update with me, Will Duff Gordon. So I've done quite a bit of travelling over the last couple of weeks, which gave me a chance to read masses of the magazines out there, including Business Week from Bloomberg, which I think is a rather good magazine as it turns out. And they've alerted me to a rather interesting story about Otis, the people who make lifts. Now before you think I've gone completely crackers, it is interesting that Otis had 16,700 lifts in that northern part of Japan during the earthquake. And barring 300 of them, they were all functioning and working again very quickly after 13,000 call-out calls. And I just thought that's rather good because everyone has a primeval fear of being stuck in a lift. And when the world's well, not quite the world's, but when a really bad earthquake happens and nobody gets stuck in a lift, that's pretty good. In an age of opposites where banks are being accused of not lending and smartphones are not very good at making phone calls, I just thought it was good that a lift company is doing an excellent job of ferrying people up and down the buildings, including during an earthquake. This company is owned by United Technologies. They own lots of other businesses too, but unsurprisingly short interest is very low in United. Institutional ownership stands at 22%, which I think could be a bit higher because it was about 25% before the credit crisis. The people who dominate the European lift, or shall I say elevator business, are Kone. It's a Finnish firm, and they seem to have the Europe domination, and unsurprisingly short interest is very low. Share price has gone up 300% since the credit crisis, and it recently has been paying bigger and bigger dividends, so it's often in demand in the stock lending business to enhance the dividend payouts. Over in Taiwan, basically, forgive my pronunciation, but Yungtay Engineering, institutional ownership has quadrupled in that firm and low short interest, so more positive sentiment there. The only negative sentiment would be in an Italian lift company with a very romantic name, Monte Ascensori, a tiny business, so you're not going to find much investor sentiment flow looking at our data, but I do note that the share price has been sliding ever lower in the people who specialise in lifts in Italy. Let's though change tack and go to, well, the company iSupply, owned by IHS. They have made a name for themselves by tearing apart iPhones and iTablets and working out where all the component parts come from. Why am I telling you that? Well, they are saying that a quarter of the silicon wafers that are used for making semi-conductor parts have been suspended. The production has been suspended due to Shin Etsu Chemical and MEMC Electronics having problems in their Japanese sort of plants due to the earthquake. Why does this matter? Well, you know, hidden within all these devices, which everybody's buying masses of, including in the iPad 2, are these wafer and semiconductor bits. And so clearly, I'm going to look to see whether there's any short selling in these companies. It has been rising in both companies. Interestingly, before the earthquake, it was rising in these companies. It's not massive. It's 2% in Shin Etsu and 4% in MEMC Electronics. But in both, the lendable quantity, so the institutional ownership proxy for sort of bullish sentiment, very positive. The longs are standing by and they're buying more and more of these two companies, thinking that it's all about the wafers. That is all for now. If you'd like to read the report, it is at dataexplorers.com/news.